Hi, this is Rickey Purdin with WizardUniverse.com. I'm here with Arthur Suydam, Suydam, as it says. Arthur, people may know you from a few things that you do, specifically a book called Marvel Zombies.
Correct, right.
What can you tell us? The new miniseries is out now. What can you tell us about the covers that you have coming up now?
Well, I'm not supposed to let the cat out of the hat on most of them, so there's very little I can say, other than that Marvel Zombies is really has always been about surprises.
Right.
So the new series, writing-wise, direction-wise, and cover-wise, we are taking it in different directions.
Cool, cool. So when you have to do these, or when you're hired to do these homage covers,
Right.
are these covers the original covers? Are they the ones? Did you were you a fan of those when you were a kid? Like, did you pick up
Oh,
these
very much
books?
so. I own most of them. So most of my own. So and Marvel's been very good about letting me pick most of the covers that I get to work on. They make some suggestions as well. I have a body of friends and contacts, store owners, the guys who have their top 10 lists, and so I do a lot of research when I'm putting my list of covers to do together. I talk to people who own the comic warehouses. People have been in business for a very long time, and try to get them to pick what is your 10 top covers of all time. And then I run those by some of the guys at Marvel and ask the guys from Marvel, the editors and assistant editors, what are your favorite covers of all time? And I put them all together. Then I say, hey guys, here's my list that I'd like to do. What do you think of this list? And sometimes they chip in some covers as well. And so that's kind of the process of picking them.
Has anyone who's done one of the original covers that you homage have they approached you and like, hey, look at this, I did this weird or did this wrong?
Oh yeah, I see a lot of them at the conventions. You know, usually maybe when we're on a panel together. So sometimes doing these shows, we're all at a panel together, and so I get their feedback on it. And actually, some of the people who do reviews for a magazine approach them and ask them. I think actually you guys did it. Actually, called them up. Hey, so what do you think of these things, right? And so yeah.
So
We
do
get a
you
little bit of feedback? Yeah.
well, do you have a favorite cover yourself? Maybe not something that you did, but do you have an all-time favorite cover? DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, whatever.
Not something that I did.
Yeah.
Because, well, my favorite covers probably that I've done are two of the Marvel Zombie covers. Maybe the Spider-Man wedding cover. That's one of my favorites. And then
Right.
the first Secret War homage
Oh,
cover
yeah,
that I did.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
one of my favorites as well.
Mhm,
And then as far as other favorite covers of all time, well, I don't know. There's so many of them. There's so many to choose from. I don't think I have any one favorite. There's hundreds or thousands of them that I really like. Yeah.
Right. Well, how about in terms of influences? What artists do you look for when you're kind of stuck and you have writer's block for art?
Well, my influence is, you know, the interesting thing about being an artist, a comic artist, is they change. It changes throughout the years. Every couple of years, every about 5 years, I think they change. And growing up, I started drawing when I was around 4 years old.
Right.
So back then, the guys who really influenced me were Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby. Even though it's hard to see any of that in my work now, because all these years later, I found other guys to emulate as well. Then I started discovering the School of Illustrators from the era of great illustration, which started in about 1915. So I do like to when I'm if I'm stuck, I like to surround myself with great work.
Right.
And for me, maybe I feel very competitive, and I like to set a bar for myself to reach for, and I like to set something, a painting, not so much a person, but a painting for myself to compete with. So I do. If I'm overtired or I feel like I need some inspiration, I don't drink caffeine or anything like that. So I will pull out a couple of paintings that I think are great paintings and just put them near me so I can be reminded that this is what's possible. This is what's to shoot for. And so I think that's one of the things that really helps me put all the work into the covers and helps maybe me on my end. I'm trying to keep the quality, the integrity and the quality of the paintings are very high, and I think the sole reason for that, or one of the big reasons, is that I do hold these famous paintings from bygone eras up as competition. Right.
Well, no, it's great.
If they were around, I'd be playing sports with them, and I'd be competing them with in that arena as well.
Right. Well, so one last question.
I grew up playing a lot of sports, and I think that's where I get that competitiveness.
Right.
from.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. Yeah.
Well, so one last question.
Sure.
I know a lot of people love your Marvel Zombies covers. Obviously, they go into several printings, and you're pretty consistent in having to do a lot of covers now.
Yeah.
When are you going to do some interior art? Is that something you want to do? Or are you
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna-
very much so. And actually, I'm working on some stuff right now, and I have been doing some interior work. The thing with my interior work, and I think it's a similar case for a lot of folks in the industry. that I have been doing interior work, and I've been doing it for quite some time. But if you don't do it for one of the mainstream companies, it's not something that gets a lot of notice.
Right.
So right now we have some things in the works that we're talking about. I'm not allowed to talk about them
Right.
until they solicit them, but we do have some projects that I may be writing and doing illustrations for the interiors for Marvel as well.
Cool, cool. We're looking forward to it, man. And
Okay.
again, this is Rickey Purdin, Arthur Suydam. He's got the sign. There it is. WizardUniverse.com. Thanks for checking us out, guys.